It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gotza. Welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 11 of Season 3 of the 2024 IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split coming to you on ERN, and we are here at the historic Milwaukee Mile for 85 laps tonight with a very tantalizing 44-32 strength of field set before us. Joining me in the booth is, as always, Stephen Larkamp. Stephen, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, Gary. Should be a good show tonight up here in Milwaukee.
Joseph Patschauer is here as well. No LGN tonight. He's the smartest man in the booth. He is spending time with his wife.
Indeed, smart call there, I'd say.
Yeah, very smart call. It kind of reminded me of I was supposed to spot for a buddy of mine, Cadell, that all you two know of.
Yeah.
But the wife wanted attention, so yeah, got to keep the wife happy. Otherwise, things can go bad.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life. That's what they say.
Exactly.
Yes. So, with our women advice out of the way for everybody here on this virtual racing broadcast, we're going to get into it here very shortly. The usual suspects are here, and they are at the front. And Clindy is going to attempt the worst from first challenge, but he has a monster road ahead of him right now as we are getting ready to go official here in qualifying.
Indeed, so qualifying has completed, and it was and you could definitely get away with going with a worst to first challenge at a track like we've been at the last few times out at places like Kansas or Auto Club Speedway. Milwaukee is going to be a very different animal, I think, and let's see what he can pull out of his hat on this.
Pull out of his something, you know. That is for sure.
We'll definitely be civil about that one. But let's having a look at the starting grid. Two drivers are the only two to get below a 22-second lap in qualifying. These two are flying, and to the shock of presumably very few who are familiar with the show, it is Robert Malechka III in the number 1. King Robert will be on pole alongside his nemesis Jacob Oster in the number 2.
I don't know if it's his nemesis or if it's Prince, right? That's Prince Jacob, right?
Prince Jacob, indeed. Wants to go for the crown, I'm certain of that. and then I guess you could say the Black Knight of the bunch is behind them in third position. Brandon Trost in the number 6. He is going to be looking for some real aggressive moves early on, I have no doubt. Ty Quilla will be alongside him in the number 8. Very good qualifying from him. And another great one, too, from Brian Campbell in the number 7. He'll start off 5th. Good job, Brian. He'll be alongside Mark Murphy's number 4 machine, starting in 6th position. Row number 4 will be Jacob Collins in the 13, alongside Matthew Pontos, number 17, 7th and 8th. Then running up to top 10, Bruno Romanzini in the 15, and Dylan Moskowitz in the number 12 in 10th position. Dustin Cares, who had an unfortunate run last time out, we'll see if he can make amends for that, starting off in 11th position in the 16, alongside Trey Shadid, a struggle in qualifying this time out for the number 3 machine. What can Trace do to get himself back up to the front? And Antonio Estrada and Adriano Fraporti will be 13th and 14th. Two more quick drivers who also struggled in qualifying here. This is a tricky track to qualify on, no doubt about that. But let's see what they can do in race trim. Row number 8, Carlos Washington in the number 20 will be alongside Stephen Lee, another struggler in 16th position in the 14 machine. Doug South in the number 21 is the last driver to post a qualifying time in 17th. He'll be alongside our old friend Clendy. Kyle Clemworth going for the worst to first challenge. And also going for the same challenge, it seems, is the 9 of Seb Alexander. He's going to start 19th in this race in the number 9 machine alongside William Stearns in the 18. Final row of the grid will be the 19 of Nathan Cerna and the 22 of Ellis Spice. I'm hoping he's got some spice in his cars tonight to get himself a bit further than the back of the pack here. But anything can happen here at the old Milwaukee Mile, the oldest racetrack in the world by many metrics. Robert Malechka will lead them to the green here and the Milwaukee Fairgrounds.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting Because I know a number of these guys are using this more as a test ground, so to say, for not this weekend, but next weekend.
Indeed so. Of course, IndyCar will be coming back to the Milwaukee Mile in real life, and we're going to be here in the virtual world now. Green flag flies, and Robert Malechka jumps out to the point. Ulster trying to scramble for grip on the high side here, but here comes Brandon Trost on the attack right away, trying to get that second spot away. Not quite enough as they settle into some semblance of order here, running the high line here. Quite amazingly, you rarely ever see that in Milwaukee, at least in a meaningful capacity. But it's going to be Malechka leading the way over the line on lap 1. Trost under pressure from Quilla for third place.
Never thought I'd see the Kansas Speedway strategy on a flat track.
Yeah, it's like I've been doing iRacing for quite a while here. I don't think I've seen people run to the hot line.
This reminds me of New Hampshire.
It does, doesn't it? And New Hampshire, of course, has that strip of pavement in the middle of the track that serves as the best groove here. That strip of pavement here is usually on the low side. And now I think drivers are starting to work their way towards the bottom of the track a little bit more as they start to wear in the rubber a little bit. But still, you have the leaders all the way up on the high line. Brandon Trost getting really comfortable with that wall.
Watch Trost when he goes the 1 and 2. Yeah, last lap he actually went down to the yellow line, or the yellow, I guess, a curbish kind of thing there. But they're like rumble strips, but they separate the racetrack from the pit on road or pit out road. And he actually, if you run your tires over that, you can help your car rotate. And that's exactly what he did. I think he was down there experimenting early. Probably doesn't work to the way he wanted. And we're going further in the pack. Though we got some 3Y going to the 1 there. Oof.
Hello.
But it probably didn't work the way he wanted, and he is trying to figure out a way to track down at least the lead 2 right now. Clindy is now up 5 spots to 13th.
Good start already by Kyle Clemworth. Beautifully done in a different livery from what I've seen of Clendy before. That sort of a sort of turquoise and white colors on the number 5 machine as he's running right up onto the gearbox of Trace Shadid, who is still in the same spot where he started at the moment. We'll see what he's got in terms of fuel strategy, most likely. We're expecting about 50 to 55 laps these guys can get out of a tank of fuel here at Milwaukee. It can be a bit of a challenge here, but you could definitely save fuel here and stretch out your mileage here.
Field's getting spread out as best they can. That's one thing about the Milwaukee Mile, the most perfect oval in the world, as the late great Bobby Unser would say. The one thing that's really prevalent around here is that turbulent air.
Indeed it is, and it's something we talk about pretty often with regard to the Indy cars and open wheel cars in general, is the aero push, the infamous aero push. That's typically the case on the big tracks, like the 1.5 miles, the 2 miles, and even Indianapolis Motor Speedway itself. But here in Milwaukee, you rely a bit more on the mechanical grip than you do the aerodynamic grip. Not so much, it seems, this time around, though. You're still having the aero push to worry about. You always have to face it, but there are certain tracks where it's less of a factor, and this usually is one where it's less so. But tonight, it seems like these guys are kind of struggling with it.
Low line is not working in that where Clindy is trying to pass Trace Shadid right now. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. And they're running side by side, going through 1, and Clindy just can't get the acceleration off of 2.
Yeah, it is tricky to get the power down here. Like you said, the aero push factor is something to worry about, but also you have to get your line, your turn in just right to get the power down. And Clendy's now got the rip here. He's looking to the inside on Trace Shadid into 1.
Now, Trace is going to be a little upset here because he's going to have, not upset in terms of mad, just upset car because he's going to have Romanzini in front of him.
Yeah, and Romanzini, I don't think was doing him any favors there as Clendy actually lost that position once again to Trace Shadid. Still wheel to wheel. But turn number 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot closer this time.
Yeah, look at the momentum that Shadid is getting off the corner up on that high side there. That is really showing why that high line is preferred. For some reason, this setup seems to be really good on that higher groove.
Now Trace going down low.
That's the preferred line. Yep. Trace now being forced onto the low line here. And look at Clendy getting the launch off the corner. And now he's got Bruno Romanzini as his next target. This is for 11th place, looking down to the low side in 1 and 2.
Oh. There you see Estrada back there. He's working his way around for Porty. Same thing, down low, just can't get... You get there, you just can't do anything once you get there.
Yeah, you see this at quite a few tracks, actually. It's one of the reasons why high lines can be so dominant in this series here. You get a ton of momentum working that higher groove off the corner.
Oh, there's side-by-side Clendy. Yep.
Yeah, Clendy and Romanzini wheel to wheel here.
This time Romanzini didn't give him as much room. Romanzini was way up on the wall the last couple laps. This time he was about a half a car length off the wall, not giving Clendy as much room as normal. Look, he's in the middle of the racetrack now. Before he was up against the wall.
Yeah, and you can see that momentum that, like, he's trying to pinch him down a little bit and get Clendy to lose momentum in the middle of the corner there to hold on to that position. And it's not really doing Romanzini too many favors in a prospective battle with Dustin Cares, as once again they go wheel to wheel. Cares and Moskowitz, the battle up ahead of them for 9th. Ooh, these guys are still fighting at it there, but I think Clendy now has got a better run than he has before. And he...
Not yet. Look in the middle of that corner how much faster Romanzini is, and he was able... He lost a car length and gained it all back in the middle of the corner there.
Indeed so. As now already, I'm looking at Robert Malechka already having...
Oh, yep.
Clendy did get by Romanzini there.
It's a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Indeed so.
Little squeaky there.
So Go ahead. Yeah,
okay, so we're just at a standoff at this point. Normally, I would say, Gary, let's talk about the records here that have been set here at the Milwaukee Mile, but there's so many records that are split between USAC, CART, and the IRL, especially IndyCar now.
Well, I mean, you have the AAA record back when AAA ran here. You have the USAC, you have the USAC record that was set here. You have the CART track record, and then you have the IndyCar track record. The USAC track record set back in 1955, which was their last appearance here, was Ed Eliason, and it was a paltry speed of 101 miles an hour. I would say that we are doing that pretty handily right now, coming in and out of the pits. The USAC track record is set in 78, and that was held by the Flying Hawaiian Danny Angaius with a speed of 134.9. The CART track record, Patrick Carpentier, set in 98 with a speed of 185.5, and the IRL track record set in 2006 by Elio Castro Neves with a speed of 172.4. Now, what are they going to do in real life when they get here? We'll see. I suspect that we might see a new track record, or at least a new track record on the IndyCar side of things. Probably not exceeding the CART record. I don't think they're going to exceed that.
Yeah, like you've seen the modern Indy cars beat the CART records on the road and street courses for sure.
Yeah.
On the ovals though, that's going to be a bit more of a question mark outside of Indianapolis.
Well,
of
we
course,
saw it at Iowa. We did see it at Iowa. Scotty Mack did beat the track record there in the new car. Or in the current car.
Yeah, and these the current cars, especially with the new hybrid motors, they seem to be getting faster and faster and faster as time goes on here. We could well see a new track record at Milwaukee in real life here. And, of course, my overlay is only showing the speed in terms of lap times here. I'm not seeing the miles per hour on here, but I'm wondering...
One around the back.
Uh-oh.
Stephen Lee.
Yep, Stephen Lee just lost it coming off of turn 2.
And we're still green, though. We're still green. So this is pretty common here at Milwaukee. We'll take a look here and see what happens. It's just he gets down there, gets under power, and a little too much weight jacker and a little too much right rear heat in the right rear there, and a whoop, there it goes. And then he tries to desperately keep it off to the wall, and then boink, there it is, and it's time for a new wing from the man from Georgia.
Brings it onto pit road here, going up on the jacks, and that is definitely a bad moment for sure for Stephen Lee. And working lap number 25 for him, lap 26 now for the leaders. These guys, I'm thinking a bit more in terms of strategy at the moment. We're getting close to the point where these guys are going to be in the pit stop window.
Oh.
The leaders, though,
Brian Campbell having a moment going through turns 1 and 2, but he's got it back underway. He's got himself solidly in 5th. He's being ran down by Mark Murphy. But Mark Murphy, out of this battle, Brian Campbell has a teammate and a wingman with him. Jacob Collins. If Jacob can get up there and distract Mark, he can maybe help Brian pull away. But it looks like Mark is starting to reel in the man that works for Coin Racing for real. He will actually be there in a couple of weeks for real.
Good stuff there, and he's. But I think Mark Murphy may be starting to get into a stride. And guess who else has gotten into a stride? It's Clendy. He's caught back up to Dustin Karras and Dylan Moskowitz. This is a 3-car battle now for 9th position, and the fast guy is sitting in 3rd. They're trying to look on the low side, not quite enough to get up alongside Dustin Karras, his number 16 machine, but he is threatening them. He is definitely a threatening figure back there.
Now, one thing about the Milwaukee Mile, much like Phoenix, both the current NASCARized version and the original True Phoenix, lap traffic you can catch up to pretty quick here.
Yep.
Compared to the stock car.
On the
compared to
outside. Nice job. Nice job.
Nice.
Beautifully done by Clemworth up on that high groove there, just squeezed right through and move him into the top 10. His worst to first challenge is going better than some's, I will say.
Yeah, he's up 8 spots so far.
Looks like he's going to be going for it again this lap. He's on the outside of Dylan Moskowitz and breezes by.
Somebody's found something on that high line.
Oh, yeah, he just breezed on by that Dallas Stars entry of Dylan Moskowitz. That's for 9th place, and next in his sights is Matthew Ponto, and Ponto is looking at that, and a certain Simpsons meme comes to mind. I'm in danger. Kyle Clenworth there.
I'm surprised that Dallas Stars team has not found a fault in their stars yet.
Oh, and I will say, being the big hockey fan that Justin is, he is not a Dallas Stars fan. Yeah, I'll say that much about it, to put it one way. And already, look at him just go breezing by Matthew Ponto. So up 3 positions in the span of
I'm trying to see what Ponto at livery that is that he's running there, and I can't tell.
I can't tell.
Normally he has a historic IndyCar livery on his car, and I can't tell what it is right now.
Let's see.
Go to the Tower 1 shot there, and we'll get a close-up.
I see Jurgensen Eagle on the car.
Okay, so this is a Bobby Unser car. This is a Bobby Unser car right here. The 48 there.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That was the one that he drove for Dan Gurney.
Yeah.
Because I see the Eagle on the side. That was involved in the probably one of the most horrifically historic Indy 500s in history.
73?
The washout.
The 73 run. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the skating rink, as I call it.
I think Clendy almost got the wall there. He may have hit the wall in 3 and 4, but he goes by the lap car. It doesn't look like he's hurting him too much there, but I think he did tap the wall a tiny bit in 3 and 4. Yeah, he did. It's a bit of a smack, if I'm honest with you. Oh wait, that was that a lap car? Or was that because someone was going very slowly on that low side of the track? Yeah, it was Ellis Spice there. But Clendy's up into 7th place. I think we're having the first of our pit stops, perhaps.
Let's get a wider angle here. There goes Clendy around stern, right there in the Van Halen. I like it. He will always, as long as Stern makes the top split, he will always get a little TV time rocking the Van Halen livery. He will always get that out of me. I can be bought, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back up front, and wow, I didn't think I'd see Seb Alexander go a lap down 38 laps into this thing, but he is on the verge of it, and it doesn't help that he has 2 cars with Carlos Washington and Tracy Did right in front of him. They're probably seeing this there happen in the rearview mirror, and they want to race just as hard to stay ahead of Robert, and that's really leaving Seb no place to drive with clean air at the moment.
Exactly, and Robert Malechka obviously going to be trying to pick his chances here, but he's about a second ahead of Jacob Oster. Oster's actually catching him with this whole this whole traffic jam here as, woo, more people ducking and diving in this fight ahead of them. That's Carlos Washington, Tracia did. And all of this in front of our leader. Oh, it's around!
No.
Seb Alexander,
Seb,
sideways, he's on the wall.
He kept it. I mean, he did rescue it, but he is hurting. It's coming to the inside. Careful, careful.
Oh, my goodness. Seb, I believe that was, I'm looking at it, that was big net code contact. They were nowhere near each other. But all of this is a treat for Jacob Ulster right now.
And the shame of it is Brandon Trost was nowhere near him.
Indeed so. In fact, Brandon Trost...
He came to pit road. He stopped on lap 34, so he is good to go to the end here.
And Oster cued over the radio. I think that was netcode that I saw. To confirm, yes, it was.
I can agree with that. They were nowhere near each other when the computer thought Alexander was hit.
Trost, I think, might have kissed the wall in 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, Gary. It's kind of driving like New Hampshire tonight, and it's having the close to the wall moments like New Hampshire has. It's really interesting to see at Milwaukee because I usually say Milwaukee's kind of the polar, is kind of the opposite of New Hampshire in terms of the way you drive it. And I end up liking Milwaukee a lot more than New Hampshire as a result. This has been quite an interesting evening driving-wise.
So that is Bobby Unser's 1975 livery, actually. But he did drive a very similar livery for a couple years, but with the design on the nose is more equal to what he drove in 75. But yeah, I like it. I love it how Ponto brings a little something else to talk about. He knows how to get himself on the top split broadcast. Just put in something historical, and Gary will talk about it for a minute.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm somewhat guilty of that, but I've run mine all year.
Yeah, your player's livery.
Yeah, and I've somehow managed to throw Gary off whenever me and Craig Forsythe.
Because you're identical, with the exception of Craig has 40 race wear on the side of his car.
But you have to remember, the paint scheme designs are completely different from what they were in 95
yes,
and
you're
99.
Right. Yeah, you're right. But from a distance, and when you're racing like this, that's what I tell a lot of people when they ask one of the major differences between doing streaming of NASCAR, which we've started to do a little bit more on the channel, and IndyCar. NASCAR is, and here comes Roman Zini to pit road, I think. Yeah, he's gonna call it quits here and pit for his final pit stop of the race. But one of the things that really doesn't matter very much with IndyCar is you don't really talk about the 2-car or the 3-car or the 4. Okay, so we have the Thirsty Threes and we have, some of that stuff that they've given them nicknames for, but you don't know the IndyCar drivers really by their number, with the exception of one, and that's AJ Foyt. Everybody knows 14. You could argue on 70. You could argue on 77. But I don't think everyone's going to know that one. Not your average fan, or maybe fans they're not diehard IndyCar fans. They might not know that one.
You could probably argue that for Scott Dixon.
It's getting there with Dixon. It is really getting, because he's held the 9 for that long. But the 14 is the only car and the only driver that I could ever think of that it just rattles off the 14 with Foyt. So in IndyCar, you look more at the livery, and that's kind of your identification. Whereas in NASCAR and trucks and Xfinity and Cup, you're looking more at number, but also to a lesser extent, to me at least, I'm looking at number and to a lesser extent as a livery, because the number is what sticks out so blatantly on the side of those. We got people going to pit road.
There. Clendy just sent it on Mark Murphy. This is for 5th place on the track at the moment, and he clears him handily. Kyle
All right, so let's see what Brian does then. If he just decides to let his teammate on by. They got any type of agreement going on here? They're just going to race it out at lap 50 of 58. We are clean and green the whole time. We've had a moment, and there he goes. And yeah, he just tucks right on in there. That was a little bit of scripting there, but that's how you do it when you work with teammates.
Exactly. That's how you play with your teammates here. Of course, you never want to hit them, and you always want to work with them if they're if one's faster than the other here. You want your team to have the best results you can here, while going for your own glory, of course. And meanwhile, Campbell coming under pressure from Mark Murphy once again.
Yeah.
But this next gap up here between Kyle Clemworth and Ty Quilla in third place, this is going to be one of the biggest ones for him to overcome. Because right now, Quilla about 9 seconds in arrears of the leaders. Clendy is 16. So that is 7 seconds he is going to have to work through to get to the back of that number 8 machine in third position.
Dougie South got caught at the wrong time, and now we... and there
blink there
goes...
from Campbell.
There goes Campbell.
But Murphy using Doug South as a pick there and gets up into 5th place. Well done, Mark Murphy, but they still got that lap car to deal with.
Doug repping All-American iRacers tonight. That's his regular team. Here comes everybody around him. He's letting them on by. Very nice. Jacob Collins now 7th, right behind his teammate in 6th. Murph now has 5th. Collins says, Campbell tells me that he improved his internet connection even though he just blinked. He said he just had to move the endpoint just a couple more inches closer to the window where it had a clearer shot to the outside world.
Yep. Yeah, at least that was the only time I've seen him blink as of yet, so that could be a good thing. I've not sure what the overall situation is there, but I'm hoping that's me only seeing that once. I hope that's a sign that it's a bit better than it was before.
And there we see here we got the gaps between positions. So between Oster and MilewauKee, let's go to the front of the field. There's a 1.5 seconds there. And so Oster is just close enough to be in the draft envelope on the straights, and just close enough also. What's that?
Campbell's coming in.
There it is, yep. And he's just close enough to get dirty air bestowed upon him as well. So there we got the first of some of the top 10 coming in, along with Ponto. Ponto at an angle on pit road to get himself out faster. Campbell probably has a well-trained pit crew. That's his job with Dale Coyne. Then he's out first.
Down and away he goes. It's a tricky pit exit here.
Yes,
you gotta be very careful when you put the throttle down.
Yes, you do.
Does so very well. Gets himself back up to speed.
Very narrow. We're watching Robert Milewaukee's let them all, and he is now in the middle. Not the middle. I would say that if there's 4 lanes in this corner, which is questionable, let's say he's in lane 3 at the time. Now he's in the top lane. Now he's in lane 3. And he's trying to get that clean air because he got 2 cars directly in front of him that is going to give him all sorts of dirty air. Here's Antonio Estrada to the inside of Dougie South. He's going to clear him. Antonio sees this, and he wants to go now to stay on the lead lap. We are now lapped up to, at least the leaders have lapped up to P7 on the grid. So Antonio really wants to get going. 4 cars for Rogue Racing up in the top 10 right now. Brandon Trost with the new tires and that early pit stop's up to 9th. I think we need to keep an eye on him.
Turn 4, 1 in the wall hard.
Uh-oh.
That is William Stern.
We're not caution. We're not caution. Let's see what happens.
Number 18.
Does it happen with Mark Murphy nearby? Oh. We get a little net code.
Keeping it on this is.
No.
He's keeping it steady at the moment. Now, get down to the bottom of the track there, William.
Nope. Wash. Kapow.
Yeah.
Oh! He goes right back into Mark. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Mark's good. But he hit the wall, rebounded, and Mark was still to his inside. He kind of bounced off Mark a little bit. I'm sure Mark didn't want that.
Ulster's on pit road now.
And we'll see where he comes out.
Down and away.
We'll see where he comes out. There comes out Milewaukeee. Milewaukee's going to get him real easy.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty
maybe not. We'll see.
It's going to be pretty close, though, but Ulster getting up to speed here. He's definitely closed in on him.
Ulster cut the difference. He did cut the difference.
Yes, he did. Jacob Ulster really cut the gap down considerably. Now, can he get the pace?
So
can he catch back up?
Watch this pit in here, Ty Quilla. This pit in here at this track is very. Look at that. There's not much of an entrance there. You got to slide that thing in there and not hit that attenuator. And so here he is making. Oh, we are caution on the racetrack.
What has happened?
Dustin Cares is missing a front wing.
Dustin Cares in trouble.
Stephen Lee
and Dustin Cares, and there's. Oh, yes.
Clinty's involved as well.
Oh, no.
Because Clendy was coming on the road. Oh, he got hit. He got hit by Stephen Lee coming on the pit road. Oh, no. That looked like it was just a miscommunication between Clendy and Stephen Lee coming down on the pit lane here.
So I see what happened with Dustin Cares. He slowed down, or didn't slow down in time, and took off his front wing. So that's as a result of the caution. So let's go back to Stephen Lee, and he's side by side with Clendy going in the 3. Clendy is clear. Clendy's coming to pit road. I don't know if there's a communication there. Normally, and he just right into the back of him. Oh.
I think that was a miscommunication there.
But
like Clendy didn't really show that he was coming on the pit road all that well there.
Well, Clendy has a chance now. He got it back straightened out. If he's not too damaged, he'll be able to come to pit road and maybe make a run of it here with 20 to go.
He's down and away now. Let's see if that number 5 has still got some pace in it, but that is just painful for Kyle Clemworth there. It would be painful IRL for sure, that impact there.
Well, now we got a chance to breathe. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on ERN and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future ERN iRacing broadcasts, which is tomorrow night. Is actually Thursday night. So next time I will be on ERN, and that will be for leg 1 of the P1 Triple Crown Challenge, part of the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, where we'll be going to Pocono, which ironically, well, it is true, identically, one of these turns, the profile of these turns at each end of this racetrack is exactly what is profiled on turn 3 at Pocono. So that's what we will be on Thursday night for the ERL, a Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, a 500-miler. Myself, Derek Vance, and Luis Gonzalez Nunez will be in the booth for that one. Join us at 7:45 p.m. Eastern on ERN. And then later, we're going to have an IIS race this week, aren't we, my friend Justin?
Yes, we are. We're going to the Finger Lakes region of New York and Watkins Glen after 2 years.
Ah, yes.
For 60 laps, full distance. And chaos is going to be a plenty. Yeah, championship implications will probably happen, much like they did 2 years ago. If you want to know what I'm talking about, it's on another channel. Just type in 2022 IndyCar iRacing Series, Watkins Glen, and enjoy the chaos.
Enjoy the chaos, yeah. And it was me on the call, but it was on another channel, I believe. But, so we are now 67 of 85 into this. We just saw the cars get the wave around for the IndyCar wave around rule. Robert Waleshka is your leader. Ty Quilla now P2. Jacob Oster is P3. Brandon Trost, by virtue of that early pit stop, is now P4, but he has some very old tires at the moment, something like 33-lap old tires. Mark Murphy is 5th. Jacob Collins is 6th. Carlos Washington, where did he come from? P7. Clendy is recovered to 8th. Estrada 9th. Ponto is 10th. Here we go.
Let's see what these guys have got here tonight. Pace car down, Malechka leading the way, and foot on the throttle. Quilla trying to keep up with him, green flag in the air. Jacob Alster now.
He's going to attack right away.
Up into the gearbox of him.
Yeah, he's going to attack right away. Look at it run on the high side, getting a whip on the side. Wow!
Oh, Jacob Alster on the attack immediately. He gets up into second place. Mark Murphy, and meanwhile behind them, I'm looking at Brandon Trost trying to elbow his way through some lap cars here, as these leaders have checked out in their own fight. Ulster is still under pressure from Ty Quilla. Quilla's not giving up this fight.
Quilla on the inside as they go through 1 and 2 here. 2 wide, 2 rows deep. Quilla not enough as he got up off of turn 2 there on the bottom.
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure that Quilla was kind of surprised that he decided to take a run up the outside on him.
He may have been.
I'm kind of shocked at that as well.
Clendy is pitting. He's got damage on the car, I should note. Kyle Clemworth has got damage.
Yeah, I think that was more than what he
lost it on his own there going into 3, and that is a well and truly wrecked number 5 car. So night over for Kyle Clemworth. Very unfortunate.
Maybe night over for him in this race, but still got a long week to go with many more splits. That
Indeed.
That he can go and try again. But look who's right behind. I believe that's Tyquilla going into turn 3 here. Trost. The Chrome Horn is
Yeah, kind of equating.
You gave him the Black Knight. You gave him the Black Knight nickname. We call him the bad guy, kind of like Roman, or not Roman Reigns, but
Razor
Ramon. And the Chrome Horn is actually a pretty good one.
Hello. 3 wide as they come up in turn 4 here. Oh, what contact! There we go.
He's there. He saved it. Beautifully done by Antonio Estrada. He lost positions.
Let's do a rewind here and check this out.
He's lost it in 2. He's sideways. Caution's out. Into the wall he goes. Oh no! But
he just comes to the bottom, turns it, and it goes right around on him. I don't know if maybe he had a hot tire or something from that early racing. And let's go back a lap earlier.
Could have been. Let's see.
Let's see what happens. He has Roman Zini down low, Dougie South in the middle there. South just comes right on up. Maybe a little bit of net code. Maybe a little bit of net code because Doug is coming in from Australia, so there might have been some net code there.
Yeah, the computer I think registered that as contact actually, and it may have been a factor in that incident. And no doubt that little squeamish moment heated up those tires pretty hard there, and it was a factor in him.
He has a damaged wing plane too on the front there, and I'm sure that didn't help. And he goes right around into the wall. And this is a shame. He is the most. I was looking at the points in the Oval Series. He is the most efficient of those in the top 10 in points. Only 13 starts, no wins, but in the top 10 in points.
Very nicely done. Like, this is a guy who can really click him off when it counts.
I'm just going to jokingly say this. That almost looked like the tire was quote-unquote cut.
It did kind of look like a cut tire.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah. iRacing doesn't have a mechanic for that.
It'd be nice if it did.
You didn't know. Yeah,
maybe soon with what we've seen in the developers blog.
Maybe you might be right on that. And we do, and when the tires do completely wear out, it does attempt to simulate a cut tire, and you do get a meatball flag when that happens. But it's not to the same extent like when there's an actual cut tire in real life. But you never know, that could change.
Hey, urging everybody that we only have a couple more races left this season. It's this week and next week. And if you haven't done so already, please click on our GoFundMe link in the description and donate to the broadcast. We do this for free on behalf of the community every week, including also doing the IIS for free whenever the IndyCar series runs. So if you are part of the broadcast and you've participated in one of the top split races, you just enjoy watching and you want to give us a good attaboy, well, that's the best way to do that is also send us a little donation if you can via the GoFundMe link. It's in the description. We certainly would appreciate it. And then only 2 more opportunities this week or this year to donate as part of the 2024 Season 3 broadcast. We are looking at the Season 4 2024 schedule coming up. And we were talking in the pre-show, and we have a bit of an oddball racetrack on the schedule coming up next season. We will be visiting.
Gary,
go ahead.
Gary, hold that thought. We just got a surprise visitor out of nowhere. If you didn't hear me shriek, Clenworth has joined us.
All right. Well, real quick before we turn the mic over to him, we will be visiting Rockingham next season. So that will be a first for a long time for the series, but not the first time we broadcasted a race. We broadcasted a race at the other channel at Rockingham at the RAL. So it should be an interesting time. We will see speeds just click over 200 miles per hour there at that 1 mile oval. In North Carolina that I don't know if it's ever going to be used again or not, but we'll see. Anyways, Clindy, the worst for first did not happen in the way that you really wanted it to, and a little contact and then damage to car, and that ended your day.
Yeah, I was really close. Got checked and released from the infield care center. I want to thank everyone at P1. Hope we can enjoy the end of the race here, and hope Rob will come home with the W that he earned. But yeah, I just got ran over after I called that I was pitting. So up to P2. I think I probably would have finished 4th. But glad I could put on a show. Let's watch this finish.
Indeed, and we also got Antonio Estrada just joined us, and green flag flying once again. Malechka and Oster once again at the point.
Here comes Trost to the inside on
Quilla. He is taking notes.
Look, he hits those curbs to rotate, and he is on by.
Pretty
those
rare to
tires
see
are old.
that tonight.
Those tires are really old.
I could have sworn I thought I just saw they were trying to go 4 wide through 1 and 2 on the restart.
Doesn't shock me at this point. Working lap 77, now 78 of 85. Only 7 cars left on the lead lap. Malechka, Oster, Trost, Quilla, Murphy, Collins, and Washington. Everyone else scrambling for whatever positions they can get. But this lead battle, let's see if Oster can run down King Robert. And Mark Murphy, meanwhile, so I'm putting the pressure on Ty Quilla, starting to fall back into his clutches here in this battle for 4th.
Couple of good side-by-side battles behind this group here as they go down the back straightaway into turn 3. Everybody is literally trying to mount momentum as best they can to try and get that good run coming off of the corners here to try and make that pass. What that word? Try.
Oh! I think Murphy got the wall there in turn number 1.
Yeah, we heard
gathers
something.
it up. Yeah, you could definitely hear that. He gathered it up. He's still going, but he's lost momentum against Ty Quilla, and he may be nursing a bit of damage. I hope not for his sake.
Maybe.
Collins now seeing that and thinking there's an opportunity for a top 5 afoot here. That all-white number 13 could look pretty good in a top 5 position.
Right now, the only close battle between the leaders is between King Robert and Prince. There's the caution.
Big whack in turns 3 and 4 there. I'm seeing Trey Shadid. I'm seeing
one car on the roll bar. That is Dustin Cares.
Dustin Cares involved in it. 2 cars went airborne in that one. That was him and Antonio and Adriano Forporti, I should say. He went into the catch fence hard there. And that's a destroyed race car. Race might well be over.
It's over.
Yeah, we're gonna see this here and then get it just in time to get the white flag lap and watch Robert get this from wire to wire. But not sure it happened. Here is the group of cars. We'll watch Cares. I think it happens in front of him. Maybe a little bit further on up.
Carlos Washington and Trace Shadid.
Carlos, okay, so we'll look at Carlos. Carlos throws a bit of a fade on, yeah, he did. There's a bit of a fade on Trace. Trace in,
wow.
Oh, that is net code, but that is a kind of a late attempt at a pass. And here comes the whole pack. How Doug South misses that, I don't know. Dustin Cares is going to have the ride of the night here on replay for you. Again, look at all this traffic in front of Dustin. A bunch of dirty, very dirty air. And he's going to get a run here on the inside of, on the outside of South. He is right now following, that is for Porty. That's really been, the mailman hasn't really been in much of the action today. They received almost 4 wide at 1.3 and going into 3. And there we see him, and now just smoke. And then Forporti goes in, Forporti flips, and it's like synchronized flipping. It's just like the Olympics again. And Dustin Cares is...
Except not in a good way,
Yeah, not in a good way. But thank God it is, first of all, they have the aero screen. And thank God they have, this is just virtual racing.
Indeed so. And this race coming to a close in a... rather anticlimactic way, many would argue, but after 85 laps, it is the king. Robert Malechka III, wire to wire, pole to flag win, barring a few laps under pit stops, of course.
Yep.
And Malechka will win at Milwaukee. Oster and Trost, your podium.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he lead every lap? No, he didn't lead every lap
no,
because
he
got 3 out of the 4 of the Grand Slam. Got the win, got the pole.
He pitted before Oster did.
Yeah, so he did not. I don't think he led every lap.
No, he didn't.
Nope. So that not 3 out of the 4, not bad. It's still
definitely led most laps.
It is,
There's
yeah,
no
and
doubt about
he got the fastest lap of the race. But I tell you what, to get the Grand Slam on an oval is next to impossible, and he almost did it. So congratulations to him and Brandon Trost there in third, Jacob Oster in second, and Robert Molechka there getting the win as they're putting in some extra laps here before they hit pit road. It just tells you how much extra fuel they had. Let's get a look here at the final standings and get into the interview room. And when we do, we actually will get a chance to talk to Brandon Trost, and we'll talk about that early decision to go to pit road. Seemed to have paid off for him.
Indeed so. And as Molechka resets there, and so does Oster. A bunch of other guys, I'm hearing some burnouts there. Tyquilla looks like he's just doing some donuts for us and wrecking the car in the process.
All right, let's get the results in here. Robert Molechka with the win. Kind of a no-doubter there. Jacob did make a good run of it on a couple attempts, but could never quite get past the king. The prince is still the prince, at least for another day. Brandon Trost is P3, Tyquilla P4, Mark Murphy P5, Jacob Collins P6, Carlos Washington. Where did once again I said, where did he come from? 8 spots. Great finish for him, P7. Matthew Ponto, a good finish for him. Normally he is caught up in somebody's ridiculousness, and he manages to bring it in for a top 10 there in the Bobby Unser Dan Gurney theme. So 8 spot for him. Brian Campbell 9th, Roman Zini in 10th. Roman Zini was one of the early pitters as well. I think early pitting might be the way to go here. I don't know. Moskowitz 11th, Dougie Sal 12th, Nathan Serrera 13th, or Cerna, 13th. Ellis Spice, he came a long way. He went up 8 spots there at the end. He started dead last on the field. Here's their 14th for 40 15th. Tracy did 16th, not the finish he wanted, neither for Stephen Lee in 17th. Dustin Kerr 18th. The teammates in 19th and 20th, not the finishes they wanted, but they got some other races later this week. They can audit that out if they want to. Estrada and Clinworth in 19th and 20th. Moving on to the last page, William Stearns in the Van Halen ride, 21st, and Seb Alexander in 22nd. And again, when Trost was nowhere near him. I find that funny, but no one else is laughing, but I find it funny. All right.
It looks like all 3 of our podium finishers are here.
Let's get them in here. Find the channel, first of all, and let's bring them on down. Brandon Trost here in the booth with Justin and Steven and Gary. Hey, just talk about your race. The first thing is we noticed that you were the first to hit pit road, so you decided that coming to pit road early was going to be the way to go, and it kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, I guess. I just did the if you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader, so do something different strategy.
Correct.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Was there anything left in there in the car in those late startups or those late restarts with the tires that old? Was there anything left to run those guys out? We know you got a couple positions. You got one over Quilla at the end there, but was there any way to run down Robert or Jacob at this time with those old tires or no?
You could have given me 50 lap fresher tires and I still would have been slower than them. It didn't matter. I actually just chatted to Robert really quickly there, and he told me what he did to get those lap times, and I couldn't do that. So good win to him, and I can't drive it that way. So.
Well, nice return to the podium and here on the Top Split broadcast. Good to see you again. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go, sir?
I'll just kind of shout out everybody in the community. I thought that was a pretty clean race for the most part. There were only a handful of people I thought were a little bit of a weapon out there, so that's pretty good considering the racing we were in.
Yeah, agreed. I thought the racing was pretty decent out there. A couple odd net code incidents, and then there was a couple of the not necessarily paying attention what's going on around you. And that's sometimes to be expected, but at least it didn't bestow anything that on you and impacted you negatively. But congratulations on the P3, and one more race to go for this season. We'll see you next week, hopefully at Charlotte.
Yeah, I hate that track. Seriously.
I'm right there with you. It's fun for about 3 laps with good tires, and then after that it sucks. So we'll see you next week, man.
Get pole.
Okay.
Whoever gets pole probably wins.
That's true. That is absolutely true. There, you're right. All right, thanks a lot, man. Good luck and congrats.
Have a good one, guys.
He just calls it like it is. There.
Indeed so.
Yep. And actually, well, the whole time in this interview, I had the results over his car, but there's his car right there. Always in the Allied car. Never in anything else. Never in anything else. There you go.
He's got a livery and he'll stick to it.
Yeah, that's how people know him. That's how we know him on the grid now. So there you go. Got down to 19th, started 3rd, finished 3rd. But not enough to run down the King and the Prince. Well, we'll get ready to bring them up here right now. Jacob Oster. Here's Jacob Oster, the War Man. Congratulations on the P2, but you were going to make a run of it there at the end on Robert. Did you have anything possibly, if the race was going to go longer, maybe you could have run him down, or he was just impossible to touch today?
Just the way the track is with the aero package and the lines we're having to run, you can't really pass like someone's like especially the same speed as you. I was gonna run a low 7, the lap that Takashi came out. I was tracking like a 7.3, 7.4, which would have matched Rob's time. But
yeah,
I kind of hit the wall a little bit as soon as Takashi came out, so I was a little disappointed in myself. But it was pretty fun. Like that actually required a lot of car control to keep up there and go fast.
Yeah, if you did a 21.73, that would have beat us 21.74, so that would have got you the purple lap. So let's talk about the lines. We were talking very early on when we saw the green flag and everybody going up to the top line, very reminiscent of going to New Hampshire in these cars. That's what it looked like to us. Is that what it felt like to you?
Well, I wouldn't really say New Hampshire runs a line like this. New Hampshire's more of a middle line, like how this will be in real life, but I did not know this was going to be the thing. Until yesterday before the first race, I saw Jacob Collins do it in a lap and would have tipped faster than me in practice, and I was like, I gotta try this. And then I ran like a 22.3, then I ran a 22.2 and a 22.1 in race trim, and then everybody else kind of figured it out, and I'm like, yep, okay, cat's out of the bag.
Right. Yep. It doesn't take much. Race drivers will mimic each other once they find the fast line. Well, congratulations. This is really going to help you, really. I think this might just clinch, if you weren't already clinched enough, the P2 in the championship with Clindy unfortunately falling out there. He got a little contact, damaged the car, and then when you guys came back to green, the damage was terminal and ended up spinning and finishing what was left. So this guy, I think, are going to get you second place in the points. So congratulations. Are we going to see you next week at Charlotte, or are you just going to take the week off?
We will see how Pro Q, if I'm needed for Pro Q prep or not, or if the set's good. I just really wanted to get at least, within 50 points of Rob. I know we haven't really been trading as much this season as we have other ones, but we've been keeping it close, and I don't think, and we could probably get some more points if we ran a little bit more, but it's still really fun to run this car all the time.
And outside of Rob leading laps, you led. I think you're the only one that led per lap. So congrats on that as well. So I guess maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe not. But congratulations probably on P2 on the standings and the overall championship as well. Might we see you come back here for season 4 of 2024?
Oh, I'll be here and the rightfully claim my P2 in the championship once again for the 5th season in a row.
I will say this: you better win Rockingham next season.
Oh, I forgot that's on there. Yeah,
it is.
We'll see.
It is.
I know Rob and Jason have prepared that set, so I gotta hope it's good.
All right, well, Jacob Oster P2 again in the racetrack and in the championship, but congratulations. There's a lot of people out there that would love to switch places with you, so I think you should still be happy. So congrats, and we'll catch you at the next one.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yep. And now let's bring up the king. The king. And here he is. And here he is. The king is in the house. Man, everything but the Grand Slam. Got the win. Had the fastest lap. You qualified on the pole, but just the way the pit stops came down, you didn't lead every lap because of that. What a shame. But a dominated day. We didn't think we were going to see you for the rest of the season because you got the championship all sewed up. But what made you come out here for Milwaukee?
Honestly, just kind of bored. We kind of figured out last night that it's a highline race, and you know what? It's like that seems pretty unique for a short track, let alone any track, right? So I'm like, you know what? It kind of sounds fun, and I decided to sign up, and it went. I would say better than expected. I did not think I'd be that strong, but yeah, we'll take it, and yeah, it was fun.
Well, I know later this week, we are 2 weeks ago in the qualifiers. You are still in the mix for the top 33. Actually, I think you're in the top 10 right now. Everybody is going to be gunning for everybody at Road America. So best of luck to you there. But yeah, I'm not sure what you could take from here that will help you in Road America other than just some seat time and a little bit of success rolling forward. But look forward. Tell us about what you got coming at Road America here in a couple days here on the Pro Series. What type of road ahead of you? Is it going to be uphill, or you think it's going to be you guys in the community have a good shot at this one?
Yeah, I mean, I guess first off, like I was gone for roughly 2 weeks in France, so NEC time right now is good for me.
Ooh.
Just kind of getting back into the flow of things, but yeah, I mean, we've figured some things out that we've gained. It seems like quite a bit of time than what we had in the past. So I think at least especially for Phil, he'll probably have a good shot in first split to win it. And for really me, it's just kind of survive in advance, right? I believe right now I'm like 10th or 11th.
Right.
So easily in if I just, keep it clean and finish really like top 20 in every split. So that's the goal for me. And I think Justin as well. So yeah, just these last 2 weeks, it's kind of just hang out, don't cause any issues, don't have any mistakes, and be easily in. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're actually watching on the replay when you're trying to get around for Porty. He made it a little difficult on you, didn't he?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you can't really blame anyone for any incident here, right? Because we are sliding all the time. It's very, very treacherous up high, even though it is the fastest way around. But man, it's difficult because just with the wind gusting and all that, like you just get sometimes random pushes, sometimes you're losing the rear. Like it's really hard. So I can't fault any contact by anyone that whore is.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more contact than probably what you wanted, but you still made it on by. Friends, families, sponsors, any shout-outs you want. Of course, we'll be rooting for you guys here come Thursday. All the community guys, we're always rooting for you guys. So go right ahead for your upcoming race here, for tonight and for your upcoming race at Road America. Yeah,
as always, thank you to Private Label Team Life and Power Slide. Yeah, we've been working hard the last few weeks to gain on Team Redline, and I feel like we've stumbled upon something that is going to kind of put us over the top. So I'm looking forward to the Battle of Dom and Apex and Coanda. So it should be fun. Looking forward to getting these last 2 weeks over with and on a Pro Series.
Well, maybe we'll see you at Charlotte. Maybe not. You got this.
Probably.
You got this championship all set up.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. What the heck? Then we'll see you next week. Congratulations, and we'll catch you at the next one. And good luck in the Pro Series.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, boys. Just like old times, just the three of us. And it was a good race all over the place. And sometimes it was tough to figure out where you wanted to put the camera. Sometimes the camera was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But I think we got just about every major pass and incident just about covered. But, second verse, same as the first. Robert Milwaukeee, another win here on an oval. Here in the Oval Series. Justin, big week coming up for you, of course, with the IIS this week. Are you all set?
So far, I am all set, and I can't wait to get back to Watkins Glen. Now, supposedly, this is what a friend of mine said who attended the Xfinity race at Portland. Portland has been scanned by iRacing.
Ooh.
See, that's what the news hound Justin Petschauer, I believe, told me a couple of weeks ago when they were there. You're like, hey man, I heard this, and it would take a visit from NASCAR in order to get iRacing to scan something. So I totally buy it.
not just NASCAR. They also have to have it for the NASCAR 25 console game.
Yeah, you're right.
So
All right.
that's all it took. This may be the last time we go to the Glen, because who knows? We may see Portland on iRacing sometime next year.
Haven't we got Toronto scanned?
That was allegedly done when that other company was quote unquote scanning tracks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So it was them that scanned the track, possibly.
From some of the stuff I've heard, we may not be in Toronto much longer for IndyCar.
Oh boy.
Well, apparently there's talk about them expanding exhibition place because I think they said like the Pan American Games or the World Cup that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I think the Pan Am Games are coming up there.
Yeah, I think it's Pan Am because World Cup is 2026.
So we may be losing Toronto, and if we do lose Toronto, if the Cup Series doesn't go to the province of Quebec, hello, Montreal, can we get IndyCar back at Socket Givenu?
Right, yeah. Let's see. Ironically, the Pan Am Games, I very much remember the Pan Am Games because they came to Indianapolis in 1987, and that's where the opening ceremonies were actually held at the Speedway. And it was the first time in a long time that the Holman family opened the doors to a crowd that large to the Speedway other than on race day. So that was kind of the start of the Holman family going, we can get some extra money if we open the doors here for other people. 2023 is Santiago, Chile. So nope, not going to be the Pan Am Games. Must be something else. But yeah, if they're preparing for a big sports thing, I totally get that. Infrastructure is a big deal when you're going to have that many people in town. So maybe we go back to Montreal. That would be great because then we don't have to worry about scanning another track. But historically speaking, I would love to at least have Toronto captured because there is still a large deficit of city and street courses on this service that you could use an IndyCar on.
Not to mention Canadian tracks.
True. That's very true. Well, thank you for the scoop, but good luck to you this week in IIS. Stevie, nice race here today. I think we're looking forward to NTT IndyCar Series really coming here for real. But if there's any indication, I don't think today was really any indication of how they're going to really run for real here. I suspect that for real, they'll be on the bottom, just like they were pretty much when they came here before.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. This didn't seem like too much of an indicator. I do wonder what they had setup-wise this week that sort of forced that high line strategy here. But when it comes time for the real deal to come back to Milwaukee, and I'm so happy they're coming back to such an amazing venue, it's definitely going to be a very different ball game from what we experienced here. But that's not to take away from how good this race was. It was definitely a fight for everyone involved here. There was great. It was a good show, and we definitely.
Go ahead. No, just watching. We got the replay of Robert continuing to run while we're doing final thoughts here. And he did make contact with, or got real close contact with Seb and put him in the wall.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of beating and banging out there all around Robert. So Robert, much more physical race than he leads on to believe.
Yeah, and that's the sort of racing sometimes that this track inspires here, and it's very rare to see that, but that's just the sort of thing that brings and that Milwaukee can bring out here, especially when it was driving as weird as it was. But I think going into the season finale here, I think at Charlotte we're gonna have a good show. I think because this whole season's been great. This was another good one tonight. Let's cap it off with a bang.
And also of note to add. when they do come back here again in real life, the aero configuration is going to be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're running the road street circuit for the 1 mile, basically the short tracks.
So basically what we saw,
but
basically what we saw at Gateway. That's what they were saying at Gateway.
Yes.
They had the extra plane on the back and on the front, so that was helpful there. Checking out chat here. Looks like a lot of Clindy fans checking in. Welcome. Thank you for all being part of it. You probably are done by now with your guy out of the broadcast. But Russell Wood says we need a driver's broadcast for the top split 1 week. Yeah, we could try to arrange that one sometime. We might have to get the censor button ready. We might have to do that, but getting the I don't know about a live feed from the drivers during that, but we should. There's a lot of drivers that do stream their races. I don't know who would have been doing it today, but there's a lot of them that do. I know Craig Forsyth is one, for instance, and there's some others out there, and just have to.
One of them.
Yeah, and you just have to check out their channel, and you can follow along on those type of, if you want to do a kind of follow along a driver with the top split. But yeah, I don't know if we want all the drivers up here, or at least checking in under live conditions. I would have to definitely hook up the Go LXR and make sure I got the mute or the beep button, the center button at the ready, because we're not running on that much of a delay. All right, well, that's going to do it here. Let's cue up the music, get on out of here, and give everyone back their Tuesday nights. You know, this race, my computer, I rebooted it right at the end of the work, so I'm setting up this stuff earlier today for the broadcast. There's a little bit of pre-show prep that goes on here, so I have kind of my script and my stats and all this stuff. And this is, you don't think that the regular broadcasters do that in real life? You're lying, because I used to work with Bob Jenkins' wife, and he would call me, because I did IT for the company for them, and he would call me with their computer problems, and he would tell me that he blew up his laptop or something, and that's where all of his scripts and his stats were. So I know for a fact Bob Jenkins has carried around a laptop with all these scripts, so I'm doing nothing different. So I prep all that during the day. And I'm also doing it in between work. I work at home, and I shut down my work machines. And typically one of the things I like to do is restart my streaming computer just to freshen everything up, because, Windows, right? So I go to reset it, and I take off, and I go eat dinner, and I come back, and I look at one of the screens, and the BIOS screen, or the BIOS boot screen is still on it. I'm like, uh-oh. Now, I just put a bunch of upgrades in my machine, and I'm thinking, what's going on? So the first thing you do whenever you have a problem with computer issues is you dumb everything down. You go to the absolute minimum. Okay, I need a keyboard, I need a mouse, I need a boot drive. And that's what I did, and immediately came back to life. And I don't know what it was, but yeah, this race almost didn't happen. I think I got her live with about 30 minutes before going green, give or take. So, yeah. Anyways. So props to me. Pat me on the back. I'll finish fourth. I'll finish on the podium for that one. But yeah, nearly a near miss tonight. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Milwaukee. Robert Molechki with the domination. Prince Jacob there in second, and Brandon Trost out of the penalty box and keeping it clean and green in front of him for P3. Join us again next week for Championship Tuesday and round 12 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split on ERN will be our last race on ERN, fellas. Then we're moving to P1. And we're going to be heading to Charlotte for the final race of the season. So while the championship may be decided, there's several battles in the top 10 coming down to the wire. You won't want to miss it. Coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And as always, we'll be right here on the Elite Racing Network. And you can find all the correct broadcast times in your area on YouTube at youtube.com/ just do a keyword search at Elite Racing or Elite Racing League or Elite Racing Network. One of the ways you'll find them. Bright green logo, white lettering, a lot of high res green or high vis green. Yeah, you can't miss it. We love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy. Require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share a passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the Oval Series, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 ERN with the weekly grind. mind, leave a comment below. Thank you, everybody in chat, even though it seemed to be all Club Clindy there, just checking in a chat. But if you participated, thank you very much. And leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like on the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, ring the bell for weekly reminders so you'll miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including round 4 of the highly competitive Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. They will tackle the first jewel of the P1 Triple Crown Challenge from Pocono. For the IndyCar1909.com Pocono 500, join Derek Vance, LGN, and myself on the call. Start time is 7:45 p.m. Eastern. That's on Thursday. That's right here on the Elite Racing Network channel. To learn more about the Elite Racing League and how to sign up for their upcoming IndyCar season or their current IndyCar season, join the Discord. The invite is in the description. And my understanding, there's about somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 registrations left for their big Indy 500 coming up in October. If you're interested in that, get in on it, because the registrations will be closed once they hit a certain number, and I think it's only about 8 away from that. Track cams for this race provided by Whiplash Sim Cans. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cans. Learn more about Whiplash. You can like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter or on Instagram. Links are in the description. So for Stevie Larky, I'm Justin Pet Shower. We'll even throw LG in there, but he's out there with his wife, so he's the smartest man in all of auto racing right now. Everyone here at P1 and in ERN, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all good night, thanks for watching, and to all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, come home safe. Catch us again right here for Championship Tuesday in Charlotte for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split. Good night.